Cd10 Life Coaching with Watheru. The Sacred Council 10 out of 32. The Guiding Force of Watheru. Watheru, the guiding force of liquids and energy of water. Learn to go with the flow. I am Watheru, keeper of the second dimension, representing the energy of water, through which I give everything the ability to adapt. I am also called the keeper of commitment and adaptability. You know me very well because you clean yourself and everything around you with my substance. You drink me, and your body as well as your planet consists 80% of my substance. On Mother Earth I represent the oceans, the rivers and the lakes, and I am the lubrication for all solids. I am a life-giving force, for without me there wouldn't be too much living on the earth. Quote, water is life's matter and matrix, mother and medium. There is no life without water. Albert Szent-Györgyi. End of quote. In your body, my main location is the pelvis center, where I am in charge of creativity, vitality, procreation, and the immune system. I am the living dance of life, the artist in all aspects of life, and assist you to experience moderation, and to play and go with the flow. For that reason, I am also called the keeper of play and creativity. I am a great part of that child within you that is full of zest, imagination, and knows how to play. It is that child which has saint-like qualities, and its love is as pure as it can get in the creative world, reminding you about Kandu, the Creator. Quote, on the path of God realization, one must become unfettered like a child. Huzur Maharaj Charan Singh Ji. End of quote. I am, however, just like you and anything else in creation, a creation of opposites. When you fail to tune into my positive side and become too serious, regimented, and stubborn, you will experience a lack of vitality, feeling dehydrated, stiff, and could even fall down in the hands of lust. I keep you busy with procreating, binding you to partners and children, and busy creatively playing with the endless toys in creation. You may ask, why would you do something like this? And I will tell you that this is part of my job, and as I said before, I am part of the creative world, and there are two sides of me, just like within you. Quote, be careful what you water your dreams with. Water them with worry and fear, and you will produce weeds that choke the life from your dream. Water them with optimism and solutions, and you will cultivate success. Always be on the lookout for ways to turn a problem into an opportunity for success. Always be on the lookout for ways to nurture your dreams. Lao Tzu, end of quote. To sum it up, I am the guiding force regarding matters of being creative with it all, or feeling non-creative and blocked, vitality, or feeling depleted, flexible or inflexible, mobility or stiff, showing you adaptability or being stubborn, being artistic or boring, living with a high immune system or depleting your immune system, dancing or robotic, changeable or resisting, moderation or lustful, procreation or stagnation, going with the flow or going against the flow, playful or being too serious, smooth or rigid, committed or desisting. Watheru, knowing me and knowing what to do with me. Let's see how you unnecessarily struggle with my force in various aspects of your life. how you could change your perspective and even make some practical changes. There are endless words that can be connected to any subject, and any subject can have many books because each subject can be approached from various perspectives and angles. Most important is not forget that all is said or written is merely an opinion, a truth, and not the truth. Because the spoken and written word is part of the creative world, created in opposites, constantly changing and bound to time, and there is always more than can be said or written about any subject. Regarding me and the Sacred Council members, talking about any subject, know that this understanding applies to that information as well. The information is from our particular point of view and brought to you through the world of visionary and mystical fiction. Hopefully, it contributes to your life and assists you to experience life in a more conscious, mystical, and magical way. By hearing or reading this information, you will come to the conclusion that you know this already, and you do, because this is part of your universal and spiritual inheritance. And often, we just need to hear one word or a sentence that inspires and motivates us to do things differently, or to think about a certain subject from a different perspective. Dealing with your real self, the soul. In regards to spiritual living, know that the taste for the things of the world will fade, and that you, by practicing your meditation and inner and silent prayer, will get more and more a spiritual taste, something that is stronger than all the mortal tastes and which will outlast your mortal life. By staying committed to your spiritual practice and getting more in tune with that spirit within you, you automatically learn to go better with the flow and adapt easier to the situations in life. Keep your physical body and mind fit and vital, for you need them in your quest. For when your body gets plagued with discomfort, it is harder to sit for your spiritual practice. Let moderation enter your life in all of its aspects, for it will assist you to stay away from extremes and enjoy to play. Quote, never go to excess, but let moderation be your guide. Marcus Tullius Cicero. End of quote. Dealing with your mind. In regards to managing and dealing with the mind, never forget that it is the duty of the mind to keep your soul captured in the body, by keeping you busy in this ever-changing realm called creation, in which you either go with the flow or where you are demanding change in ways you think that things should be. Realize that your mind, driven by the sense organs, always wants to run away from any commitment, thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. The mind makes you forget that you live in the world of opposites and that there are obligations connected to every experience. A mind driven by the sense organs loses easily the magical and mystical taste for life and falls down into the negative passion called lust, and acts this out in various ways, such as lusting after outcomes, lusting after addictions, lusting after power, money, name, fame, and lusting after self-righteousness. Go with the flow, than rather fighting against the waves of life, and feel guided. The soul knows that life in creation is just being on stage as an actor, who plays out its roles in an imaginary way, is creative, sticks to its commitments, is moderate in all its actions, is full of zest, and dances with and through all its adventures. Quote, prepare yourself for the world as the athletes used to do for their exercise. Oil your mind and your manners to give them the necessary suppleness and flexibility Strength alone will not do it. Lord Chesterfield. End of quote. Dealing with your body. In regards to dealing with your physical body, know that it is a composition of material substances, but the water substance reveals itself predominantly as your procreation and immune system. They are strongly connected to your sense organ of taste, like the taste for life, or having no taste when your body is not well and cleaning itself. But you could also fall down with the taste of lusting for things. The antidote for lust is moderation. Quote, never go to excess, but let moderation be your guide. Marcus Tullius Cicero. End of quote. The main water energy center is located in your pelvis, which needs to stay mobile in order to stay vital and in order to dance through and with life. Another water energy connection is commitment, which requires flexibility, and through which you can stay committed to whatever you need to stay committed to. Dealing with communication. In regards to communication, do not lust for self-righteousness through words. Go with the flow and adapt your way of speaking to the level of others, so they can grasp what you're trying to say. Do not be stubborn, but communicate differently when needed. Be creative in your ways of communicating and do not get too serious. Quote, stubborn and ardent clinging to one's opinion is the best proof of stupidity. Michel de Montaigne. End of quote. Dealing with food. In regards to dealing with nutrition, know that always eating the same does against nature and doesn't stimulate your immune system. That's why there are different foods growing at different times of the year. Go with the natural flow and be more flexible. You become rigid and stiff by your routine eating and because you demand to have the same. Know that you are connecting to the negative passion called lust. Stay aware that your mouth is one of the best trained sense organs, because from the moment you were born, you got comfort by nurturing yourself on the mother's breast. And in general, throughout your life, you celebrated your victories and defeats by putting something in your mouth. And do not forget all those empty moments connected to being alone and lonely, which you filled up with food and drinks. Eat and drink in moderation, which will nourish you much better. Just look as well at others and yourself how you eat. Be more creative in your way of eating, but as well more creative in how you present your food. The water energy fruits grow up to knee height. Just think about all the vegetables that grow. And then the melons, the pineapple, the tomatoes and strawberries. And they are an excellent energy when you seek that vitality. The vegetable section is a great combination with fire energy foods and nice energy for lunchtime. Fire and water balance each other. Your body exists for the majority out of water, and that is what you need to drink. And know that all other drinks are liquid foods and have a different purpose. Drink the most fresh and energy-rich water, and do some research on this, because water is one of your main life ingredients. Know what you are drinking. Savor your foods by chewing them, but do not flush them down by drinking during your meals. Quote, sour, sweet, bitter, pungent, all must be tasted. Chinese proverb. Dealing with staying fit. In regards to fitness, keep your workouts fun and exciting. Next to getting all your muscles mobile and flexible, pay extra attention to the area of your hips and pelvis, in which you find the limb central station, immune and procreation system. It is from this area that you experience your physical vitality. Go for stretching and dance classes, play in the water, and check if your hips are in motion. At the gym, working out on stationary machines, make sure your hips are in motion. After every exercise or exercise station, stand and hold on to something with your hands and move those hips. Dance them loose. Quote, "Those move easiest who have learned to dance." Alexander Pope. End of quote. Dealing with your life partner. In regards to relationship, know that the base of a relationship is commitment, but also know that any commitment is only possible by being creative and flexible. It is a dance between two people who are to play in and with life as innocent children. But when you forget this, you will fall into the negative trap of lust, which expresses itself in many different ways. Be moderate in all your actions, and you will experience vitality in health, but also in your relationship. Quote, "Let your moderation be known unto all men. The Lord is at hand." Bible. End of quote. Dealing with your children. In regards to parenting, know that you get a chance to become more flexible and adaptable in your life because the commitment to raising children requires this. Also, do not try to pull them into your world, but go to the ground and step in their world, which is much more magical, and with silly and innocent things to laugh at. Quote, "There are lives I can imagine without children, but none of them have the same laughter and noise." Brian Andreas. End of quote. Enjoy their creativity, playfulness and zest, and make sure to keep their immune system in a good shape by offering them sufficient fresh foods, giving them time to run around and play, but also making sure that they get plenty of sleep. Give your children your inheritance right now by playing with them, and learn from your children to be more playful yourself in life, which again makes it easier to be with them. Adults get so easily rigid and stubborn, inflexible, and lose the fun in life. Give your children a healthy foundation by showing them how moderate you are in all aspects of your life. Show them that you are flexible and maneuverable in your way of dealing with yourself, others and the world, in order for them to possibly adopt the same qualities. Learn from their saint-like qualities that forgive you for your shortcomings and who love you no matter what. Quote, "The point is to develop the childlike inclination for play and the childlike desire for recognition, and to guide the child over the important fields for society. Such a school demands from the teacher that he be a kind of artist in his province." Albert Einstein. End of quote. Teach your children that the chores of life can be fun by being creative and invent games to accomplish the such-called boring chores of life. Dealing with preserving the planet. In regards to taking care of the planet, preserve water wherever you can use, by having a system at your house that allows sink and shower water to be used for garden watering. Use biodegradable cleaning products. Collect rainwater in a cistern and use it for different purposes. Quote, "When the well is dry, we know the worth of water." Benjamin Franklin. End of quote. When you have a pool, search for natural water balancing systems other than using chemicals. You cannot continue polluting the waters of the earth, for they are so essential for all life on the planet. Quote, in looking at the various environmental issues we are all faced with, and the task that we need to fulfill for the planet, if we could get more than 10% of the people consciously aware, then I believe we could pull the 80% in that direction too. Masaru Emoto. End of quote. Dealing with the teenage years. In regards to the teenage years, as a teenager you are probably having a lot of sexual confusion. Watch out for the exploring too far out of the safety zone. Sex or intercourse is for the procreation of the species, but maybe there are already enough of them. And sexuality always ends up in addictions. You feel stuck in your position and would like to run away. Are you showing to be stubborn and it's only your way to be the way or nothing at all? Quote, how old is the sun? Sun is not temporary, not chronological. There is a terra celestial and the celestial. I am celestial, Mon. I am here, there and everywhere. I live amongst men, so I must adjust myself. When I go to other planet, I must adjust myself there too, Mon. Peter Tosh. End of quote. You feel you have lost the zest for life and have no taste for life. Your vitality and immune system is going down, and be careful to taste and try drugs, tobacco and alcohol. Learn to be moderate, adapt to the circumstances, and find different ways to play and have fun in your life, without harming yourself or others. Nourish your body with the best live fresh foods, and you will feel more alive and fresh. Quote, the man who makes everything that leads to happiness depends upon himself and not upon other men has adopted the very best plan for living happily. This is the man of moderation, the man of manly character and of wisdom. Plato. End of quote. Dealing with getting older. In regards to dealing with getting older, know that the older you become, the more evidence you have that nothing works out exactly as planned. For this reason, you can become more flexible while getting older. The world has already too many people getting older, getting stiff, stubborn and sick. But why not getting older, being flexible, creative and vital? The youngsters need these kind of examples. Getting older is an opportunity to reconnect with your inner child and taking life less serious and playing with the youngsters on their level. Quote, we don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. George Bernard Shaw. End of quote. Dealing with stress. In regards to dealing with stress, stay flexible in your mind and keep a high immune system in order to handle stressful situations. Break away from your routines and choose more fun and playful activities. Wash your hands several times a day, take more showers and baths, and just be more in the water. Drink vitalized drinking water every hour. Have water fountains and humidifiers or dehumidifiers in your home and office. Keep looking at life as a play and don't get too serious involved with the actors and the play. Go with the flow and you will encounter far less stress. When you handle things in a creative way, you're on the path to become an artist of life, and life will be less stressful. Quote, either dance well or quit the ballroom. Greek proverb. End of quote. Dealing with weight. In regards to dealing with weight, realize that weight is connected to feeling stuck with patterns, and change is the antidote. Get out of that serious, rigid and boring lifestyle and connect with your inner child, which is full of zest and is playful in all life's aspects. Adapt a different way of thinking about yourself and the world. Be more creative in your ways of communicating. Trade your taste for food to a new taste for life. Go with the flow. Show your adaptability and travel light in the adventure of life. Change and vary your ways of eating. Be more playful in your ways of exercising. Boost your immune system and give the body fresh water and energy-rich foods. Quote, "Water is the only drink for a wise man." Henry David Thoreau. End of quote. Dealing with disease. In regards to dealing with disease, stay aware that life is a play, a game. The healing process of your body is also part of that game, and most likely where not one player moves in straight lines and scores. Be flexible and maneuverable during the process. You may have to become very creative to work around the restrictions that your body gives you. Be creative in your choices you make to assist your body, as one remedy may not always work. You have to create your own healing assisting package that will be different in every situation. When you learn to have the commitment to live life fully and accept the duality of its nature, you can also start to have the commitment to your self-healing process. Without commitment, there is no cooperation, and there will be no positive relationship between your body and mind. And again, any commitment requires flexibility. It is a time to boost the immune system with easy absorbent food concentrates in powder or liquid form. Try to stay limber, especially when bedridden, through stretches and mobilization exercises. Quote, "Learn to adjust yourself to the conditions you have to endure, but make a point of trying to alter or correct conditions so that they are most favorable to you." William Frederick. End of quote. Dealing with emotions. In regards to dealing with emotions, be careful to not let your negative emotions play with you by connecting them to faces, places, and events, for they will bring you extremely down and into areas you don't want to be, areas which have nothing good to offer. Dance with each emotion separate, and dance with the faces, places, and events also separate, but do not dance with them together, for they will not bring any joy in the end. Quote, "Out of moderation, a pure happiness springs." Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. End of quote. Dealing with business. In regards to dealing with your professional life, watch out for stagnant routines, being stubborn and inflexible, which is the weak side of your mind. When you have agreed to the terms of a contract, you must stick to your word, show flexibility, and do not need to try to divorce yourself when things getting a little harder at times. When you lose your commitment to the business, your profession, and your co-workers, which is lacking in your ability to adapt, you create hard times for everyone. As you spend a great deal of your lifetime in your profession, let's practice adaptability, from which you can benefit in all other areas of your life. Change and creativity are essential for a long life, vital profession and business. When you realize that you have become machine and robot-like, call up your inner child and start playing again. A business and the people within are a part of a natural piece of art, which is constantly changing. Watch out for lusting after money, power, and self-righteousness, but practice temperance and moderation. Quote, there is an immense, painful longing for a broader, more flexible, fuller, more coherent, more comprehensive account of what we human beings are, who we are, and what this life is for. Saul Bellow. End of quote. Dealing with destructive habits. In regards to dealing with destructive habits and addictions, no, it is about your relationship with a reality called commitment, which so many of you have trouble with. To stick to a commitment is only possible when done in a healthy way by showing your flexibility and adaptability. It is finding endless ways to be busy and making a commitment, and again, a commitment only lasts by being creative, adaptable, and flexible. Let's play and adventure new. Habits and conditions are strongly connected to tastes, as mostly you have lost the taste and feeling for life, and are prisoners of the taste and feelings of the destructive habit. It is time to embrace moderation, finding new taste in life and getting back the taste for life itself. Getting into a commitment to a different life is all about change, creativity, and flexibility. Quote, if you deny yourself commitment, what can you do with your life? Harvey Fierstein. End of quote. Dealing with studying. In regards to studying, know that you must have a commitment towards your studies, and know that a commitment is only possible when you are creative, adaptable, and flexible. Go with the flow and adapt to your heights and lows, and be creative when you have difficult times while studying. Do not lose that child within you that is eager to learn new and different things. Quote, you are led through your lifetime by the inner learning creature, the playful spiritual being that is called real self. Don't turn away from possible future before you're certain you don't have anything to learn from them. Richard Bach. End of quote. When you study dry and boring subjects, interchange them with more fun subjects and then return again to the harder ones. Find different ways that keep motivating and inspire you. Otherwise, you get too serious and you will lose the zest. Studying for a profession is not just about lusting for the degree, it is about getting the knowledge. Don't be a show-off in what you think you know or with your grades. Just be modest. Many times you have to learn things that you are not really interested in, but who are part of the study packages. Quote, lots of times you have to pretend to join a parade in which you're not really interested, in order to get where you're going. Christopher Darlington Morley. End of quote. Dealing with friendships. In regards to friendships, be flexible with your friends and take them for who they are. Be committed to your friends for the time they are around you and step out of your too serious side and be more playful around your friends. Find ways to be creatively active. Learn to go more with the flow, adapt to the situations, and be moderate in all your actions. So don't be a stiff amongst your friends, but dance with the joy in your togetherness. Quote, you should respect each other and refrain from disputes. You should not, like water and oil, repel each other, but should, like milk and water, mingle together. Buddha. End of quote. Summary. Watheru. Watheru, the guiding force of liquids and energy of water. Without realizing it, you have a relationship with everything and everybody in the creation, and of course a relationship with the Creator. It is all about your commitment in all these relationships that make your life playful, vital, and creative. I am Watheru, representing the energy of liquids and adaptability. I am telling you that commitments are only possible when you are flexible, adaptable, creative, and playful. Guard yourself not to fall down into lust, being too serious, getting stubborn, stiff, boring, rigid, and losing your vitality. Summary. Everything is in constant flux, which requires from you to go with the flow. Make conscious decisions to commit to the endless things you do and practice in, because doing this without making commitment will create lots of problems. Realize that you have a relationship with everything and everybody, and that it depends on your honest commitments how they turn out. Realize that any commitment requires lots of flexibility and adaptability. Watch out for becoming rigid, stubborn, and inflexible, resulting as well in a loss of vitality and immune system. Dance through and with life and find back that zest and playfulness which you had when you were a child. In order to go with the flow, prepare yourself for the day of how you're going to approach life, others, and situations. And at the end of the day, write down your changes, how you handle things differently by having been exposed to the information about Watheru. Affirmation. I commit to go with the flow, to play and dance in the relationships I have with everything and everybody. I connect with moderation and choose to experience creativity, vitality, and flexibility. Petrus.